Welcome back to digital class, and now we are looking at the questions here. The questions here say that the diagram below shows the human respiratory system. Again, when you see this word, you know this is supposed to be under booklet number 4. And the question now asks, name the main parts of the respiratory system. And as you know, our main parts, we have nose, we have the windpipe, we have the lungs, and we also actually have the diaphragm. Although some of the questionnaire might not include diaphragm as the main parts, okay? But these three you must write. This one, it depends on the questions. Some of the question might say 3 main parts only, okay? Now, let's move on to the next questions here. The next question here says that there are 12 people were trapped in a lift. They are trapped in the lift. Again, this question is actually very common. They would always talk about trapped in a lift, okay? Some of the adults, because tracking in the lift, started kicking and banging on the door, and while some young children started crying. And now the questions continue to say that the graph below shows the amount of 3 different gases in the lift at different times. So you can see that this is remain the same. So which gas remain the same? Actually, yeah, in the composition of air, we know that it's nitrogen, right? Why? Because our human body does not need nitrogen, so we breathe in and we breathe out the same amount. Okay, but you notice that this gas Q is actually reducing. So why is it reducing? Means that there is what gas? There's actually oxygen. Why? Because our body needs oxygen. So the amount of gas of oxygen in the leaf will decrease as time goes by. And you notice that gas number R is actually slowly increasing. And we know that should be carbon dioxide. Why? Because carbon dioxide, our body release carbon dioxide. Okay? Now, the main part of question is here. If the adult had not kicked and bang on the lift door. We know that the adult do that is because they want to get out from the lift and try to kick and bang, and children did not cry, but all of them kept still instead. Means that they don't kick and bang, but they just sit still and wait. Would the amount of gas Q is what? Gas Q is oxygen, at the 20th minute be higher, the same, or lower than the shown in the graph above? Explain your answer. So basically means that in this situation, the adult is actually like banging, kicking, and child is crying, and this is the amount of oxygen left. But if there's another second scenario where the same person just sit still and the children don't cry, if we compare, will the oxygen amount of oxygen higher, or same, or lower? And I believe you should have an answer in your mind, and that should be higher. Which means that if the adults choose to sit still or kept still, then instead of kicking, banging, and children don't cry, they just sit still, actually there will be more oxygen left. Means that they will take in lesser oxygen. Why? Why would they take in lesser oxygen? Because we know that vigorous activity like kicking, banging, or when there's more movement, that causes us to take in more energy for the body to break down the food and to what? To produce energy. That's why what you're supposed to explain is there will be higher amount. Why? Why will be higher amount? Because if they sit still, there is what? Less movement. And when there's less movement, this will cause our breathing rate to what? To decrease. When our breathing rate is decreasing, means that we will take in what? We'll take in less oxygen. Okay, less amount will cause breathing rate to decrease, and take in less Again, oxygen a bit slower. Okay, I should say at a slower rate. At a slower rate. Okay, so that is basically the whole idea of this question. And I believe that this question gives you again an idea and reminder that when there's rigorous activity, that causes our breathing rate to increase, therefore taking more oxygen to break down and produce energy. Okay, I think that's all from my discussion for this booklet, for this video, sorry. Thank you, see you, and bye bye.